Subliminal Logic. I went searching for algebra and found shiny wrestlers in makeup on steroids. You needed to form complete sentences, but you wound up simply texting. On the trail of Latin etymologies, there were several signs for real estate sales. Hoping for the sports section, protease inhibitors brought me disappointment. With the physics lust upon me, I wound up running fantasy computer hose. Looking for a fast food drive-through, you stumbled upon a partial integration. Imagining the count of stars in a galaxy, I saw infinite litter on the ground. After taking the shrooms, nanoscale quantum effects brought on tears of joy. Understanding the Earth's precession earned rewards of caffeine and sugar. Groping the remotely yielded only a cross-section of a stupid shield volcano. Elliptical symmetry brought me in contact with the Tibetan Buddhist monks. Suddenly, big screen Dolby Star Wars became a black and white chemistry text. iPod shuffling along, I reckoned which way the earth rotated underneath my feet. Bored with the Federalist Papers, you summoned Puff Daddy for a real lesson. Trying to win your heart, I brought you a copy of Newton's Principia. She found the remains of a failed numerical integration in her makeup kit. The herd chewed their cuds, patiently awaiting some singularity or another. The immigrant gave up on English and began speaking only in computer codes. Struggling to find the exit, they were surrounded by closely packed isobars. Seeing a Big Bang simulation, he tried to remember what movie it was from. Following ignorant intuition, I managed to reinvent cold fusion in a jar. Asphyxiating the zebra, the lion was unaware of the passing equinox. Gazing in the microscope, she was appalled at what crawled in her mouth. Frightened by the frank uncertainty of the scientists, they clung to their Bibles. Stumbling with tensors, I found great relief in merely sweeping floors. Hungry for meat, salt, and fat, they found photosynthesis less than a miracle. Peering inside the simulation, I saw that it squirmed with differential equations. Magnetic resonance imagery clearly showed the unborn crack baby's groping hand. I stumbled over the dog in the dark despite his obvious infrared signature. Hurrying to Walmart, the family struck and killed a wandering singular matrix. Tired of my long confusion, I sought a chaos theory-based solution. Reaching for a beer, the trucker was struck by the fractal beauty of the highway. Jogging through the park, I caught just a glimpse of a tiny prancing Eocene horse. Looking for a parking spot, he ran straight over evidence of plate tectonics. I saw blazing porch lights obscure photons billions of years old, streaking in from the sky. Amidst broken bottles and discarded needles, you found a German infinitive. Stalled in traffic, I became a placid notochord in a vast and warm inland sea. Rising too quickly, she hyperventilated images of complexity and uncertainty. Struggling up the waterfall model, I felt my colors fade like some tired salmon. The thick layer of ash, several million years old, did not affect her sales pitch one iota. I used a laser to burn microscopic pits into a plastic DVD to back up my confessions. Distracted by her cell phone, she continued in motion relative to her car and the tree. I had nothing to eat that day outside of an arbitrary constant of integration. He flipped channels idly, searching for curvaceous Jungian archetypes. In the eyes of a boy with Down syndrome, I saw a single gene expressed. Facing the geological history in the Grand Canyon, he invoked a biblical flood. Entering the abandoned cave, I realized how much man needed fire and dogs. The fortune teller was nonplussed by her client's vision of that Schrodinger's cat. I contrasted the infinite with the uncountable, pushing my cart down aisle 5. After the party, he dreamed of sensing a neutrino in some underground aquifer. Walking on the beach, I pondered those fossil human footprints from Africa. They found the aurora borealis far less spectacular than Disney's beautiful fireworks. As we held each other tightly, the purpose of galactic clusters eluded me. The candidate dared not flip-flop, though the Earth's magnetic pole had reversed many times. Stumbling over quantum uncertainty, I whacked into one of Plato's ideals. He did not question where in Maslow's hierarchy his loud new pickup muffler fit in. The sound of her medieval surname recalled in me Tolkien's love of ancient Norse. Recoiling from the so-called fossil, she thanked Jesus for bilateral symmetry. Hearing their rancorous debate, I puzzled over the study of creation myths. They sought relief in inhaling petroleum distillates from sealed plastic bags. Crawling on my hands and knees while scrubbing, I thought of even approaching sea. Bathing naked in ultraviolet rays, I mused upon their birth in nuclear fission. Thinking of my trillion living cells, I felt my sense of self slowly begin dissolving. Chronic inhalation of the particulates around her crib curbed her mental growth. I just made it better than it had to be, ensured that it was easy to repair. I hoped with our passing that this wonderful awareness did not simply disappear. I was struck by the unnecessary beauty of leaves without their chlorophyll. I observed orderly crystallization of atmospheric moisture into myriad snowflakes. Casually responding, a million reactions occurred simultaneously in my brain. I pondered whether the golden mean was truth revealed or facts discovered. At the turnstile, I had a vision of a supercomputer jetwing vortex simulation. She accepted perspective drawing without thinking, based upon examples. My attempt to decipher whale songs led not towards English, but more to Bach. His team raced to catalog new life forms barely ahead of their extinction. I had trouble convincing myself that this hummingbird was not a miracle. Unconsciously, I continued integrating discrete instants into a continuous past.